Have you ever had a moment when you're meditating in a quiet space, in your car driving, reflecting on who you are, where you're at in your life, and feel like, man, there's just something missing? Back in 2008, I went through a major debacle. And without getting into the details and boring you to death, it simply flipped my world upside down. Unbeknownst to me, I got caught up into something that I wouldn't wish on anybody on a business transaction. Nonetheless, I lost everything. And spending years, even years prior to this, I've done a lot of coaching, a lot of leadership training, and even at doing that, I still hit rock bottom. And it took me about 3 to 4 years to realize the very thing that I hate the most is the entitlement mentality, or the victim mentality. And I was playing the victim role and the entitlement role as best as anybody could. And I had to shake my way out of it. Now here's the purpose of what I'm doing here. Is I have realized the value that I can bring to the table. I know what it's like to be up top, what it's like to be up top and be at the bottom and climb your way out again. And I want to provide that opportunity to as many people as I possibly can who want to participate. Whether you want to do it with me or do it with somebody else, I do not care. But what I want to do is empower you so that you take action and willing to take a stand and make a difference. But I'm going to tell you, you can't stop when things get tough. You can't stop when it doesn't go your way, because when you set out a goal and you set out a journey, it's going to take longer than you expect, it's going to cost more than you expect, and it's always going to be harder than you expect. And you got to push yourself. You got to push yourself beyond those sticking points. And how are you going to do that? You're looking at me right now. I'm talking to you. How are you going to do that? The first question I'm going to ask you: what value do you have to bring to society based on your life's experiences? Take a good hard look at who you are and where you've come from and the experiences and things that you've been through. There's gold there, and there's a way to provide value to other people and really help others. And when you do that, guess what happens? You become a magnet, and people want to start to surround themselves with you. So I'm going to tell you, to do this, to get you to where you want to go, is one, you have to work on you first. Everything else around you we want to change, don't we? We all want everything else around us to change. We want more money, a healthier lifestyle, a nicer car, a bigger home, etc., etc. But none of that will happen until you work on you. Now, you don't have to buy in what I'm saying. Most of you out there know what I'm saying. But in order to do this, you got to put yourself through some stretching moments, some growth moments. And the only way to do that is you have to be held accountable. I myself need to be held accountable as much as anybody. And so I have surrounded myself with some entrepreneurs, business people, family members who are going to hold me to a higher standard. How can they connect with me and help me if I'm withholding information from them? But I can't help them either if they don't do the same for me. It's hard to see the things when you're in the picture. So it's always good to ask others for advice, those who you trust. If they're empowering you and making you better than you are, then you're in a good spot. There might be a few people that you may disengage with. Not burn a bridge, because they're great people too. Don't ever burn a bridge. But you're going to have to replace them with people that are going to lift you to a higher level. Those are the things that I do, and I do it consistently throughout the year. Every year I work with corporations, I work with executives, individuals, helping them discover what is in their picture. Like I mentioned before, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. Let me help you discover what is in your picture.